It was popular. So I could not wait to get home to share this. So I'm doing it now. I'm doing it live. So hopefully I'm driving. Hopefully there's not too many distractions, and hopefully it's not too shaky, and hopefully my wife's favorite Hello Kitty steering wheel cover is not throwing you. So very quickly, I did a video concerning the Sky News Australia story on Wuhan, the Wuhan lab, what really happened in Wuhan, by Shari. I believe the last name is Markson. I can't remember if I put that up yet. I don't know. I'm not sure if I put it up yet, but I'm going to revisit it now because I saw something this morning that really irritated me. So I made the point before, probably in other videos as well. The mainstream media have been covering, surprisingly, covering the Wuhan thing. They had began covering it, and it was like lab leak theory, and there were a few outlets that were covering the mainstream media's coverage of it, because obviously there were clearly a good bit of independent outlets that were covering the Wuhan lab thing, but obviously the mainstream sucks, so you would not expect it. So the fact that they did kind of threw people for a loop, and they had to cover that as well. All right. The question was, why? Why are they covering this? Why is Fauci being thrown under the bus? And why is not Jeff Bezos, what's my boy name? Gates being thrown under the bus? Because clearly he was the vaccine man, even though he makes computers and stuff, not even really that. And he doesn't know anything about vaccines. Like, I mean, some people would argue that Gates is a genius and an expert because he's immersed himself in that. No, that does not, to me, qualify him to be the single man, the gatekeeper, through which all vaccines and foreign policy for world health and pandemic treatment should pass through, right? So yeah, no. And his wife clearly put the hammer on him, and he was thrown under the bus right around the time where you see conversations being had about, hey, we got to get some of these vaccines to the rest of the world, I guess you would call the third world, or whatever the case, or some of these more impoverished nations, whatever. And then the Epstein thing. This is a recap. The Epstein thing comes out because his wife is like, yo, I don't fuck with him like that, because he was fucking with Epstein like that, and the media was actually covering it. Surprise! Wow! Because why would they do that? I think I said in another video, they don't cover stuff like that. They sweep it under the carpet. Okay, fast forward. The Putin thing hit. I covered that. We went to Russia for no fucking reason, obviously, because Putin is like, y'all are full of crap. Biden and his administration are. It's a clown show, right? So the question is, why? What was that for? And of course, everybody's flipping like, hey, Biden went and he did this and he did that and then blah, 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 blah. And it's bullcrap, because he didn't really do anything but yell at some people who should have been yelled at, which was the White House press corps and the favorite media people who should get yelled at just because they suck. And he kind of did it a little bit, but that wasn't his real intentions. He did it because it was questioning him, because, you know, fascism. But that aside, what you did not see, this is my point, what you did not see anymore was coverage by the mainstream media on Wuhan, the whole Wuhan leak thing, and Fauci, other than Fauci coming out and saying, don't question me because I'm science. You questioning science, bro, and I am God because I am science. Like science is like a pepperoni pizza, or you know what I'm saying, or a fucking push-up technique or something. Or don't question the technique or something. I don't know. But anyways, I'm saying that to say this: everything was dropped and thrown under the bridge, right? Thrown under the rug. Like nobody was covering it no more, and everybody was talking about Biden and the U.S. Cable media, corporate media, bought and paid for, was spending their time talking about, you know, how Spin City for Putin, which is bullcrap, and how Biden went in there and told him what for, but at the same time was upset because they don't want talking about, or the blah, 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 right? But they weren't talking about Wuhan, right? And of course, the Shari Markson, Sky News thing bit dropped right around that same week period, that same day, few days period as that Putin summit thing. Not like exactly the same day, but right around that time, right in a very close proximity to it, time frame wise, right? And so, you know me, I'm conspiratorial, right? Yeah, let's just say it. I got I don't have an aluminum hat. I got an aluminum wave cap. So, so let's just say what it really is. or what I really feel like it is or was. Here's the deal. I'm walking through my garage, going to my into the house, into my studio that I've really messed up, made it real junky. So please pardon the shaky camera. Maybe I'll cut this out. Maybe I won't. We'll see. You don't have enough time for everything. Anyways, so enjoy the tour of my house of what you can see while I'm doing. So my opinion, the Russian summit, obviously not, or possibly not, planned specifically for this or dated specifically for this, but it damn sure helped to accomplish the mission, right? Served as a way to bury that story because a lot of people that I follow, that I send you links for, I share links with you for, especially No Agenda, who I love. They were very hilarious in covering it and dealing with the fact that there's always some distraction. The corporate media's goal is to distract you from what's going on. That's the oldest and truest understanding of what No Agenda is, right? No Agenda Radio, No Agenda Stream. You can check them out. I'm sure I got links below. At any rate, so with my Adam Curry mindset, right, and my John C. Dvorak mindset in the morning, my first thought is, what is this distracting us from? And again, you look back on it, the coverage of it stopped as far as Wuhan, right? And Shari Markson was on Tucker, and as I understand it from a friend of mine who let me know, because I did not know that Sky News Australia is owned by Rupert Murdoch. So that lets you know why they would be willing to go as far as to cover the Wuhan thing. Now, the point is not that it's owned by Rupert Murdoch, right? Don't get caught up in that. The point is that you can get information that's contrary to the narrative of those who are currently in power. That's the way it works, right? It's just kind of fucked off now because the way it works is, I'm going to go to tangent, but let me really quickly. The way it works now is that there was a time where, or the way it works is there was a time where the party that's out of power, you can count on their media talking heads putting out information that's not flattering to those who are in power, right? So you can at least count that to get some information. Like, so while Biden is in office, I can go to Fox News loathingly because God, it's all just no words, right? But that's the idea. Now back to the point. Oh, let me say this first. I'm sorry. You can count on getting information that's contrary to the mainstream narrative from the party who's out of power, at least their media outlets, right? Now, you still got to take it with a grain of salt, clearly, but at least you can get some semblance of it, especially in these days, these times, right? I'm not telling everybody that Fox News is now speaking the truth, but at least you can get some bit of it. You can get some daylight because you're not getting anything from the Democratic Party's talking heads, right? And the liberal talking heads. I like that I can now say liberal and feel nice and above it all, right? Like I can point at them and I can point at them because I am neither. I am neither. Even when I was independent, all this time I'd always say I'm neither, but I would still lean left. None of that stuff applies anymore. We don't get good information because all these guys are in the bag. Now, past all that, back to the point. Shari Markson, Scott, I'm probably murking her last name. Sky News Australia, the COVID 19 origins, Wuhan lab in China, all the information that rolled out with that. I promise you, I will do a separate video covering that specifically in depth because I do so many things. I can't remember if I already put it up. And I probably should check before I did this. And I'm not editing this. I'm going to put this up because screw that. It's too many things to do. So, NBC News, to the point, we're now fast forwarding to the point that I mentioned that I came into this with about being irritated this morning after reading. NBC News put an article out online. You'll have to actually read this. I'm pretty sure there's some video coverage somewhere because they got to do video clips because nobody likes reading anymore. Except for me. Look at my comics. Basically downplaying the Wuhan lab origin story. And this is terrible. Not in the sense that they have some control over the truth, because the truth is still the truth, right? And the Sky News bit, that bit, Shari's bit, and I can only imagine what her book is doing. Put a nail in it. It put a nail in it, or a nice big bow on top of it. There's no room left to, in my opinion, there's no room left to still say at least there's no room left to still say, to be saying, oh, the lab leak theory. Like, get out of here. It's not a theory. Like, and they understand this and they know this. So you gotta be able to connect the dots. You have to. I don't care if they make you feel like you're a conspiracy theorist because you're connecting dots. So what? Connect them dots, man. Because these things are all together. Like these things are all related. Consider that when a corporation is launching a product, right? They use everything within their control, everything within their means to launch a marketing campaign. It's a campaign, right? And so if they have money in TV, if they have money in social media, if they have money in theaters, that message is going to be spread throughout those things. You know what I'm saying? That's how you market your stuff. It's a campaign. It's propaganda, right? That's just the way it goes. I'm not even speaking as like JFK propaganda level. I'm talking like, Gap is releasing some new jeans. Guess what? You're gonna see it everywhere, right? Connect the dots. So there are some people who are heavily culpable. I mentioned this before, in the deaths that me and you and all of us have seen, right, and experienced, and are grieving, and even the fallout with the economy. Obviously, they're culpable, right? If we want to play the game of morals and morality, right? They're culpable at minimum because this information was available. These the story was available in the beginning, right? There was research, there was data, there was science. All of this stuff was with these stories, testimonials, scientists, doctors. All of this stuff was available in the beginning, right? Not to mention the fact that they knew the Wuhan lab existed, right? So the investigation into the Wuhan lab was merely a cover up, right? And so when you have Gizak, whatever his name was, going to the intelligence, I don't want to cover too much into that last video, but in case I haven't put it up yet, let me just touch on it. When you have him going to spearhead the investigation of the Wuhan lab, right, and then not really going through there and really investigating and taking their word for whether or not they have bats, and then coming back and saying, well, they didn't have any bats, and they don't have no bats, and I know it because they told me that, because they told me they didn't have it. So all you did was ask. You didn't go in deep and look and see. Because why? Because you already know they're there, you fuck, right? So that aside, these people are culpable because these organizations, these investigative bodies, supposedly, went to our government, right, where Trump was, and went to the intelligence agencies first and foremost, and told them that if anybody going along the lines of talking about this, that's misinformation. We got to ratchet that down, right? Tech companies got involved in that. So I don't want to draw that out too long. Again, I covered that in a different video, but still, the point is that these tech companies, these government officials, these organized health bodies, these doctors. I had a doctor, my doctor, told me that I should go and get the vaccine. And I said no, and I'm not doing it. What she asked me, have you vaccinated yet? And I said no, I'm not doing that. And then she was like, well, we're opening up our offices again. We're not going to be doing video conferences and all this stuff, and you should go and get the vaccine. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. And she said, well, do you have concerns? I said, yeah, it's not FDA approved, and even that would still be shaky, but it's not approved. She lied to me and said it was approved. Right? And then she went so far, and I said, no, it's not, because I pay attention. I'm not stupid, right? I'm not uninformed, right? So then she had to go back. I was like, no, it's not. Are you saying that it is? Oh, no, well, they're working on it. Yeah, you just got to finish saying it was, right? And then she went so far as to make it she went so far as to pressure me by saying that if you want to come back into the office, you're going to have to be vaccinated. I said, so you're telling me that I won't be able to come in and get care if I'm not vaccinated? Oh, well, no, I'm not saying that. Well, then what are you saying? What is the point, right? So that's bullcrap. And you have a lot of doctors that are doing this that to people, and most people aren't informed on these things, right? My point in bringing that up is this. the NBC article goes throughout its way to, because you can't dismiss the Wuhan uh, lab leak, or origination, right? You can't dismiss it anymore. It's too much information on that. So what they're trying to do now is minimize it, right? And then draw an even playing field between both prospects or both possibilities. Like, well, there's no, what did the article say? There are no, I'm going to go in depth on this article and actually read it to you, or read parts of it to you. There are no concrete. I'm going to paraphrase. There's no concrete evidence in either direction for either to formally qualify either possibility. This is not the truth. This is not the truth. So what you have on one side is a bunch of scientists who are in the pocket, right, and at minimum scared of being ostracized, saying, "Oh yeah, it could have came from a bat. We don't know where the bat is and what market and in the same place where the lab is, but yeah, I'm sure it could have came from the bat. And there ain't no bats inside that lab anyway." But then, and that's what you got. That's what you got. And other than that, you got a bunch of shut up pores and do what we say and believe what we say. And then you have the other side of the argument, which is kept from you or minimized at every turn, where there's actually information laid out in this article. In this article, it goes so far as to say that the Wuhan lab was vetted, and it had a certain clearance. I think it was like a level 4 clearance for dealing with biotech hazards and all this kind of stuff, right? In the video with the interview, it's the NBC article, but in the video, the Sky News piece, there's an interview with one of the workers there who specifically says, "We have received no training for dealing with such matters. No training," which is why they're walking around in polo shirts instead of actually being fully covered at all lengths, right? Some of the guys are actually inside the thing. So they are misleading you. They are misleading us all. They are lying. This isn't like a mistake. It's a lie. It's a lie. And they're counting on people to not even read it that far into it anyways. So at minimum, what the article was in a shot at the Sky News piece and a way of minimizing it, because when you see the headline, of course, you see the headline saying that, the headline tells you that we are yes taking up the idea of the Wuhan bit, but it's still not confirmed, and we're still possibly going either way. And when it goes further to do is, this is all what one article header is basically saying, what title was basically saying to you. What we're basically saying is that we don't know, it's going to be a while, so let's not worry about it. Get vaccinated, get them jabs. That's crazy. So I would advise, I'm going to put the links down below. I'm going to do another video on the questions when I get the other video up on the actual article and going into it and breaking it down, and put those up and, check it out. And whether you agree with me or disagree with me, because it's not me. I didn't make this stuff up. I didn't make it. I didn't create it. I'm not God, right? I didn't, and then this stuff appeared. No, I'm just taking in information, right? And what's sensible, I'm going deep into, and I'm saying, yeah, that's sensible, and I'm sharing it with you. And what's not sensible and what's unreasonable and what's ridiculous, I'm highlighting and I'm sharing it with you. And I'm saying to you, hey, take a second, take a look at both of these things and draw your own conclusions, right? But God, please don't take anyone's word for a fact as of what it is. Because I'm going to tell you this, a lot of these people who are the protectors of truth, you obviously know, because you wouldn't be watching this if you didn't know, or you didn't have some inkling to it. They're not arbiters of truth. They're just actors. They're just people getting a paycheck who are all in on whatever the company narrative is, because they got to keep getting their paycheck, and they want their specter and star celebrity to grow, right? And even online. So you got to be careful of some of the people who you would think would not normally be on your side because they call themselves independent. No. I would say don't take anybody's word as the gold-plated truth. Just take the information, have some conversations, think about it, and see what makes sense. Does it make sense that some mysterious bat that no one has showed you is the cause of all this? Or does it make sense that a lab where they actually was working on this type of stuff is the cause of all this, where you've actually seen information related to this, where you've actually seen, unless you haven't, doctors coming out speaking about it, scientists coming out speaking about it, scientists being deplatformed for talking about it. Because guess what? That's science too. Science. That's all I'm gonna say for now. Yeah. So yeah, once again, if you subscribe, thank you very much. If you don't, hey, I get you. Comment down below. I appreciate it. You want to contact me to make a point, raise a point, you can put it in the comments, or you can contact me at thewelldressednerd@yahoo.com. I've been getting some great comments and great emails from a lot of great people. I will do something separate on that to shed light on that and give those comments, messages, emails the space that they deserve. I'm not doing this for clicks, because I'm only getting clicks on certain things, right? I'm doing it because, I don't know, I feel like it matters. And goddamn, we should have somebody. I mean, there are people, I don't know, I feel like it matters. Let's just say that. I'm not Jesus. I'm not anybody special. I just feel like it matters. I feel like I have a perspective on it that I'm not hearing enough of, and I want to share it. And I want to share those who have larger platforms, who are making these points, who you might not know of. So that's all I'm doing. So please, like it, subscribe it. Yes. Don't like it, don't want to subscribe to it, fine. But just have the conversation and have the conversation with others. See what I'm saying? So at least the conversation is being had, right? At least the thoughts are being had about it. At least the discussion, debates are being had. That's what's most important. All right, out. Easy.